Bungie has finally broken their months-long silence about Trials of the Nine. We're also going to be learning a little bit about Iron Banner as well. What's going on, Guardians? My name is the Black Link, and today is, of course, Valentine's Day. Thursday, February 14th, 2019. We've got another issue of the Bungie Weekly blog this week at Bungie. Now, we're going to go ahead and just dive right on into this one because this is no doubt going to be one of the more contentious issues of the TWAB we've really ever had. There's going to be some pretty big news in this one concerning the in-game PvP mode, Trials of the Nine, and even some references way back to Trials of Osiris. So let's just dive on in and show you exactly what they had to say. Ever since Trials of the Nine went on hiatus back in Season 4, many of you have been asking when it will come back and how it will be evolving. We still don't have a timeline for when it may return, but we do want to give you an update on our current thinking about Trials. Here's the team to fill you in. As longtime Destiny players should know, Trials of Osiris was released in May of 2015 as the original high-stakes weekend PvP event. Trials had an amazing impact on our game and our community. It was a pinnacle venue for players to show off their best skills, strategies, and gear. The 3v3 elimination mode combined with the card system created the coveted reward of earning a trip to the lighthouse. With the introduction of Trials of the Nine in Destiny 2, we made a few changes to the formula which never really hit the same mark. We were unhappy with its role in the ecosystem. The new activity wasn't achieving the goal of bringing the community together every weekend. Both Destiny and the online PvP scene have evolved since 2015. So we don't believe that bringing back the 2015 version of Trials of Osiris would accomplish what our goals are today. Until we have a solid prototype for a pinnacle PvP in-game activity, Trials is staying on hiatus indefinitely and will not return over the course of the next few seasons. When we have those new plans ready, we'll be sure to share them with you. And there we go, right off the bat, Bungie hitting us with some pretty heavy information there, and I, very much like a lot of you, have my own opinions about a lot of this. There's been a lot of conversation going on in the community about this, about how people feel. Basically, they're confirming here that, yeah, Trials, which they said they're putting back in the oven way back in like June or July last year, it's still in the oven. They haven't figured out what exactly they're going to be doing with it yet, and we're not going to be seeing it for the foreseeable future. And that on its own is well and good. I didn't really expect to see Trials coming back anytime soon, but it's some of the other things that they said here that have really kind of rubbed me, and I would say a lot of other people in the community, the wrong way. And again, this next part is just my opinion. It might be different than yours. I hope you're willing to share your opinion down in the comment section below, but realize that what I'm about to say here is my opinion, not necessarily the opinion of everybody else at Planet Destiny even, just specifically TBL. But when I look at that line, both Destiny and the online PvP scene have evolved since 2015, so we don't believe that bringing back the 2015 version of Trials of Osiris would accomplish what our goals are today. My initial response is, what are your goals? Your goals should be to have people playing your game, have people playing the PvP in your game. And I was one of the people who never really understood the change from the Trials of Osiris format that we had back in Destiny 1 to what we got in Destiny 2. That part there about changing the formula to meet their goals there, that's kind of what you guys did with, Sandbox and the weapon system in PvP from D1 to D2, and we see how that worked out for the entire first year of Destiny 2. And certainly that extends over to Trials of the Nine, which was nowhere near as popular as Trials of Osiris. I would say quite a lot of people in the community, a lot of people who used to play Trials every single weekend, have been saying nothing but just bring back the old elimination 3v3 game mode. And I would definitely count myself amongst that crowd of saying, I can understand. I understand what they're saying here, where they're saying, PvP has evolved and they want to bring something brand new. They want to evolve on what Trials is. I think that's a good idea, but you have to start with what you already built. You had a perfectly working system with Trials of Osiris back in Destiny 1. And we kind of bunked that up by changing the formula, reinventing the wheel when it was unnecessary here in vanilla Destiny 2. Now we've got this game mode, this premier PvP activity that used to be the highlight of a lot of players' weeks in Destiny that's been gone for like over half a year now, when really nothing specifically needed to be changed about that formula. And it's just kind of disheartening for me to read this response from Bungie. when so many of the PvP players have just been saying, bring back Trials of Osiris, bring back the formula, the 3v3 elimination we had in Destiny 1, and then build off of that. I think that would have been a perfectly fine solution here. It's something that a lot of people have been calling for since Destiny 2 came out. And it's just a bit of a disappointing response here. Again, like I said, I can understand them wanting to build something bigger and better. But at the same time, I really wouldn't see the problem with just bringing a 3v3 elimination mode, maybe revamping some of the Year 1 trials of the 9 gear and weapons that we had back in Year 1, retooling them for Year 2, leaving it as a 3v3 mode, and then go work on a brand new game mode that you can expand in a later expansion. I don't know, it just seems to be a pretty disappointing response overall for me, for a game mode that, like I said before, I really didn't feel like needed any changes. They had the right formula, the right system in place for Trials of Osiris back in Destiny 1, and now that entire pinnacle activity is just straight up gone here in Destiny 2. I don't know. Those are my thoughts on Trials. Be sure to leave me yours. I'm sure a lot of you guys have your own opinions on this sort of thing. I suppose on one hand, I'm really happy that they finally addressed Trials of the 9. People have been asking them about this nonstop, literally since Forsaken came out. So I'm glad that they're communicating a little bit of why we haven't gotten it back here, but I really wish we could hear from the Crucible team on what their goals for Trials are or were when they were working on it previously. And I think it'd be a great idea to get a little bit more in depth on why they don't specifically want to bring back a more Destiny 1 styled Trials of Osiris sort of tournament to the PvP environment we have in Destiny 2. I certainly know that there's a lot of players out there who would really appreciate that. But alright, that's my rant on Trials. It's pretty much over. The only other thing worth noting in the TWAB this week is, of course, that Iron Banner is going to be returning next week, and it's pretty much going to be the normal Iron Banner stuff. It'll be the last Iron Banner of this season, so it's going to be your last chance to get the Iron Fellowship armor set. So if you're still looking at getting your hands on that, this is going to be your last opportunity to do so. It also looks like we'll be getting the Iron Banner Scout Rifle as well as the Grenade Launcher on sale this week. That's going to be starting on February 19th and going until February 26th. So again, if you're looking to complete those collections, jump into Iron Banner starting next week. And that brings me to the last real topic that we're going to address really quickly here in the TWAB video. Disappointments about Trials of the 9 aside, we are less than a month away from the official release of the next big bit of Destiny 2 content, Joker's Wild. And I just wanted to bring up the fact that we really haven't heard too much of anything about what Joker's Wild is going to be containing. We know it's got some kind of new Gambit game mode, we know it's got 2 exotic quests, but we really don't know too much else besides that. And I just wanted to bring that up in kind of contrast to the Trials of the 9 news, and say that I really do hope that Bungie doesn't take this time to go radio silent on communicating with the community. I know it must not have been easy for them to put out that news about Trials of the 9, A, not coming back for the foreseeable future, and B, them not really wanting to go back to the Destiny 1 style game mode that we had, that I know a lot of players out there besides me were hoping for. And so I just wanted to take this opportunity to say we really don't know anything about that DLC, but I really do hope that Bungie does not stop communications for the, near future. While Destiny is certainly in a better place than it's been in previous years, it's got a lot of competition now. And I think keeping up a line of communication between the devs and the player base is definitely a good idea. But alright Guardians, that's pretty much it for all the biggest bits of news from this week's TWAB. I'm sorry to bring you that bad news about Trials of the 9, I'm definitely bummed about it too. There were some bug fixes and whatnot they talked about a little bit later on in the TWAB. If you'd like to read those, there's a link to the full thing in the description box below. But alright, be sure to leave me your thoughts. I want to know exactly what you guys think about not only the upcoming Joker's Wild content release, but also the state of Trials in Destiny 2. Were you hoping to hear something different today? Be sure to let me know down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to drop a like, make sure you subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with all the latest stuff we're putting out. But I'm out for now. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I am the Black Link. You Guardians, stay frosty. And here's hoping we see a big, brand new, even better version of Trials, well, sometime before D3.